Well, hello, everyone. Good to see you. Oh, Renee, I'm so sorry about your tortoise. Is that what that says? Yes, tortoises. Oh, that's awful, babe. I'm so sorry. Yes, I'm sending you all the good juju and healing prayers. I'm so sorry about that. How's everybody doing tonight? Okay, I'm running a little bit behind, so I just want to first say thank you guys all for being here. And I also want to take a moment really quickly before I bring the girls up to say thank you guys to everybody who commented on my community post. I'm feeling better. I had a few rough days. I thought I was doing better, and then I wasn't doing so better. So, yeah. And let me know how you like the new intro because I cut it short by over a minute. The original intro is 3 minutes and 56 seconds. That intro is like 2 minutes and 21 seconds because I got so much chatter from from people saying that it's too long, blah, blah, blah. So I just thought I would see what I could do if I shortened it. Let me know what you think. And yes, let's add the girls. Okay, here we go. Hi, how are you?
Hello, it's the girls speaking.
Hello, girls. How are you?
It's the girls. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing better today.
Better
Today
today.
is a better day.
Good.
Better
So,
today is good.
yes, I'm
Even better.
emotionally sound today for now.
And even better with you guys, hanging out with you all.
Yes, I've missed everybody.
Yeah.
I've missed talking to you guys. I've missed being live. I so wanted to discuss what happened with Charlie Adelson and what's currently happening with Charlie Adelson. Holy moly, who saw that coming? However, I just couldn't do it. But yeah, I just couldn't do it. But anyway, I'm here today and that's what counts. So we're going to talk about these kites, huh?
Yeah, I'm unaware of what's going on with Charlie Adelson. I've been super busy with other stuff.
Well, he was found guilty, but then there's some juror situations.
Oh,
Apparently there was a group text between the jurors, and one of the alternate jurors told. And so now the defense wants to interview all of the jurors to see, and they want access to that group text to see if they were deliberating before they were actually supposed to be deliberating. They shouldn't even have a group text. That's going to be problematic, but whatever. Thank you, Crystal D, and welcome, Just a YouTuber. Welcome to the Cookadoos.
right, because I mean, if you're going to deliberate early, which is, the biggest rule in the juror handbook not to do, then you should definitely do it in writing in a group text.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, so Law Nerd Amber says, but he didn't tell the judge, and the judge said, no, they can't talk to the jurors. That's got to be appealed. There's no way that's going to stand. This is going to be problematic moving through the appeals system. If there's even a hint of juror misconduct, it's problematic. And the fact of the matter is, while I personally think that the jury got it right, I want to make sure that they got it right correctly, fairly, within the law. And so if they didn't, I mean, if they did everything they're supposed to do, then interview the jurors and show the group text. No big deal. It seems to me like that would solve a lot of issues further down the line. And I don't know. I think it's odd that the judge wouldn't allow it, just because judges don't like to be overturned on appeal. And I feel like he might be. See, I'm getting such a mix, you guys. You see the comments, whether they like the long or the short intro, and it's a mix. Personally, I like the long intro, Myself, I like it better, but I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe what I'll do is when we're just doing the chats, I'll do the long ones, and when we're doing the calls or whatever, I'll do the short one or no intro at all. How about that? That's a good compromise,
That'll work. And if it doesn't, try something else.
Yeah, just try something else.
I get the comments too on my intro, and so I've thought about like creating like a short, like 10-second intro of just something short, a new one for like the short videos, and just using the long one for the live. But at the end of the day, we'll never please everybody. That's just the truth. So.
Sure won't. I don't know. I personally prefer the long one, and it does give people time to get into the chat. But you guys, it's never the people that are watching live. It's always the people on replay, and I'll never understand that, because if it's too long, then you can skip it. You're on replay. If you're live, you literally have to like leave and come back. So I don't know. All right. Anyway.
Well, look how many people that love your intro. I told you, long one, please. I love the long one. I'll be honest, I love the long one. They love it. It's just a jerk who probably barely comes here that doesn't like it, and then all the regulars love it. So
I think I'm going to go with the long one with a few adjustments. I see some timing errors in there, and I'm just going to fix it. It'll just tweak it a little and make it a little bit. I like the thing I did this time with Dahmer better than how I had it originally. So anyway, okay, enough about that. Let's talk about lying liar face Letecia and her kites. Since we missed Jen. Hey, Melissa, since we missed Jen last week.
Yeah, I don't know who gave I don't know who gave those people that were in your comments being negative. I don't know who told them that this is where they file a grievance, but I mean, it was nice of you to take it into consideration, but it's your channel, and you have to be happy with it for your own reasons.
Agree.
You're right.
Agree.
You're right.
Are you getting sick, Kirsten? Sorry.
What?
Are you getting sick? You sound a little bit.
No, I'm just tired.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Bendy.
Why?
I didn't cut you off. You sounded like you're getting a little bit sick, or I guess just tired. Like your voice, like it sounds like when somebody's got a sore throat or something like that. And then also, I'm pretty sure I have like a pretty massive delay. I might try to leave and come back in a second.
Yeah, you might have to, because you're really low.
Yeah, you kind of sound far away.
Well, that's the thing, because look, okay, whenever I'm using earbuds because of that echo issue.
Oh, right.
Oh. Well, shoot. Let me see if I can fix your Oh, no, we don't need to hear Jen Lou twice. No.
Is there an echo now?
No. But it won't let me turn your volume up. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, talk now.
Well, I changed it to speakerphone. But let me put it back on that. Hold on. Leave it right where you got it if you made my mic louder. I'm going to go back to adjust. Okay, what about now?
Beautiful.
Is that better?
Yeah, you're better.
Okay. I turned it way up, Jen.
Okay. How is it on everybody else's end?
Loud and clear, baby. Thank you, Leonard Amber. Thank you guys. All you guys.
Much better, much better. Okay. All right. So where do we want to start, girls, with the kites?
Oh, boy. I just throw a dart.
I mean, because I know, Jen, when you were reading them last week, you were like, we're going to discuss that tonight. Yep, going to discuss that tonight. So I figured maybe you had like some notes of
Oh, I
things that
definitely
you.
have notes. I wasn't very well prepared. I mean, I do have them all in front of me, but I don't have them properly marked. But we can definitely find a few.
Whatever.
I know there were some at the very end that I
Okay.
specifically said that about. So let me do some shuffling in the binder. Is there
we
any
have
that
some where maybe
What,
I'm
Allie?
so delayed. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave and come
Okay.
back because it's the delay that's doing that.
Okay. Okay. Okay, Jen, can you talk so I can? The chat is saying that they still hear an echo.
Yeah, I'll just read a kite.
There you go. Read a kite. I don't hear an echo now.
So in January of 2023, so, a couple months before trial, she said, I am documenting that the event that occurred on 12/31, because I'm Jewish, is trickling down to my housing. I was wrote up because I am Jewish and had fruit from fasting for Shabbat and coffee creamer sweetener. I was found not guilty, and now I'm being punished as if I had committed the act. I was told by the deputy that I had been in an argument, which is not true. This is another false report. In fact, I have made you aware in May, when we came over to blank for construction, that this ward has the worst safety due to the people off the streets, the inmate threat, PREA violations, the stalkers, the fans, people who stalk on YouTube, etc., which is why I always have followed the rules and been successful in blank and had roommates for 3 months, but punish me when I did not break a rule, but take people who fight 5 days ago, non-Jews. So roughly translated.
What? Is that even Letecia? Come on, man. That doesn't even make sense.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Before we get started, I got to say one thing. MP Lynn, what you doing? I just like saying that. Hey, Lynn.
Yeah. Yeah, you do it so well. It's scary sometimes.
Oh my God!
What?
I'm sorry, Jen,
Go
to
ahead.
interrupt,
No.
but Adam Montgomery wrote back on that app.
What he
It
said?
just floored me. I just seen it. He just said, yeah, he said nothing much, but yeah, it's way better in prison than in the county. But I mean, still, the fact that he wrote back, I'm just like, whoa, wait a minute. Sorry, it's not important or need to talk about right now, but I did want to tell you real fast.
It is important. We've been following that case for 7 years too. We'll see you in January, Mr. Montgomery. Fool.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll be ready by then.
They need to be.
I hope and pray, because I'm ready to follow that one just as close. Hopefully by then we've gotten a lot of this stuff done, because we're going to be busy again.
Yep. We're going to have to turn our attention away from you, Tisha Lynn. All right, so back to Tisha Lynn now. Let's focus. Jen. Me, Jen, not you, Jen. Me. I need to focus. Okay.
Okay, so back on January 12th of 2023, she, files this long rambling kite about how she's being discriminated against because she's Jewish, as if that's just a straight up cause and effect, as if she's even Jewish. She's also a soldier for Christ, so that confuses me, but whatever. So, she's she's being punished and she needs to file this grievance. So they're not supposed to keep food in their cells. And she had peaches in a potato chip sack. And she was able to prove during one of their internal, hearings that she was actually saving it to make coffee creamer. But also she was saving it because of how they're supposed to fast on Saturdays from sun up to sundown. And, according to her, and let Letecia be found innocent. You're not going to hear the end of it, whether that's about the reason why she was, had peaches in a potato chip sack, or whatever it is. Big win, Letecia. Congratulations. And so then she just continues forward with, how she was right that one time.
Yeah.
And now,
even a broken clock is right twice a day. Shut up, Letecia.
Right. Right. But she's just documenting this. She knows exactly what she's doing, leaving these kites. And it is interesting because I now have filed all of the incident reports by date with all of the kites by date. And so it's one big binder now. And then I also added in there like the letters that she wrote to the judge. And the layer I'm working on now is putting in all of the court dates and, all of the hearings.
Right.
And, what came out when. I also asked El Paso County for a price on the interview with Sharif Farstveit, which is the woman up in Adams County who leaked the probable cause affidavit.
Oh.
And so I'm hoping we can get our hands on that soon as well.
I mean, okay, this is my question. Fasting, as I understand it, means no food. So why are you saving peaches, albeit in I don't even give rat's fat kneecap where you're saving it. If you're not supposed to be eating, then what's the point of saving the food?
Right. And so they charged her or accused her. Well, they didn't charge her, but it was a formal process. But she was accused of making hooch. And, if that's the reason why she was saving the fruit, was to make hooch. And that was not her intention.
Yes, I saw that.
So,
Okay.
she got off on a technicality. And, that's really what she expected to happen with this whole case, where she was talking about the damn polygraph not being admissible in court. Well, permissible, not being permissible in court. Before she was even arrested, she was talking about how they could accidentally bring it up in front of the jury and you can't unring that bell. And this is her talking about how the jury's going to react before she's even arrested.
I mean, first of all, Letecia, all they're going to do is then play the calls and show show where you didn't take the polygraph test. You tried to buy a fake one, which didn't work, and all the things. So shut up, Letecia. You don't know what you're talking about. And also, Lucy, here's the deal. According to what I know, El Paso County does not own or have access to the interview with between Letecia and Dr. Lewis. Okay. That you would have to request the video from Dr. Lewis. And I have to say that given the testimony of Dr. Lewis and that whole kerfuffle, to me, it sounded like they were filming it for some sort of documentary on their own. And so I think that if we were to request it directly from Dr. Lewis, which we wouldn't be dealing with her, we'd be dealing with her son. But either way, I think we would be getting, that's a no dog. I don't think we'd be getting it. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you run into Eric at a courthouse and smoke a joint with him in the stairway and discuss it.
Ooh, that's a good idea. We'll send Allie. Allie should be our ambassador because she's the nicest of us.
That's definitely true.
And in my personal opinion, the prettiest and the youngest. So we need to, go with our strengths.
Oh, sweet. Thank you.
Allie, you're going to have to our bait. Sorry.
I do love the green stuff too, so I guess that would work pretty perfectly. But what about if we got the transcript from court of what did they transcribe the parts of the interview that they showed? Because I couldn't even understand what they showed, what we did get to see.
I'm not sure that the audio from the piece of evidence will be included in the transcript. I think the evidence number and the audio would be referenced, but I don't think that it would be, not like a CC of the video. But I don't know.
I'm curious about that. Well, the only thing that I can think of is to go, well, that won't be very helpful. I mean, I feel like whenever I've seen videos played, I feel like the court reporter looks like they're still typing. But I don't know.
Yeah, we can find out for sure.
We can find out. Let's find out.
So then March 28th of 2022. So we're going back in time.
Okay.
She had been there just over a year. And she asked, "Can I get a 2021 tax form? I have income from rental properties. Thanks."
What rental properties do you have, Letecia?
Right. We called Maury, and that is a lie. But my question is, okay, so I know that it's a lie. I know that she doesn't have any rental properties. And she just threw it in there, like people do when they tell a lie. They're already prepared for a follow-up question, Like, you've been in jail for a year. Why do you need a tax return? Like, she knew that was going to be the question that they would ask. So she just went ahead and, skipped to the next part where she explains to them why she needs it. When, she's got to justify it with a lie. And that lie was that she had rental properties. But why did she need the tax form? I know that she lied, but why?
Yeah, it does make you wonder.
Right.
It does make you wonder.
Okay, so then jumping forward about 5 months, this is August.
Oh, wait a minute. KPM has solved the mystery.
Of
the rental property is her head because Landon lives there rent free.
Yeah, you don't get to write that off on your taxes.
Okay, but I want to know what channel Pipple also, but also I want to say I would want the interview, the whole interview, because the state decided which parts they were going to play. The defense, it's their video, it's their evidence, and the defense was like, hell no, we ain't playing that shit. But here comes the state, we'll play it. So they did, but they, only played specific sections. I want to see it all in the entirety. That's what
I would love to see it.
Yeah, it's 14 hours.
Remember that there was a point when they were dapping each other up and stuff. I mean, they were big buddies. Her and Dr. Lewis.
Yeah. They were pals.
Yeah, I'd love to be able to see the entire 14 hours. And that doesn't even include the pop-up visit during trial where Dr. Lewis flies in over the weekend and goes ahead and pays Letecia a visit off the record, even though that's a major no-no.
It's a huge no-no.
And she had already missed every deadline. And so here she is still gathering information during the trial. It doesn't work. And she's been in so many trials, Dr. Lewis. I mean, you can't. That couldn't be just a simple mistake. I mean, she had to know. It's not her first time.
No, it's not.
It was a lot.
Yeah. Okay. So now we're at. Now we're going to where? March, you said?
No, we were in March. Now we're going to August of 2022.
Okay.
So El Paso County made a change while Letecia was there with how they handle their incoming and outgoing mail for the prisoners. And initially it was filtered through an office there at the jail. It was mailed there, and then they had people on staff whose job it was to go through, looking for contraband and making sure all the rules have been followed. And at some point during Letecia's stay there, they hired a third-party vendor that handled the mail. And so anybody who was writing letters to people at the El Paso County Jail in Colorado had to mail them to a new address in Durham, North Carolina, I believe is where it was. And but they didn't, they posted it on their website. But
Wow.
I don't think, they didn't like make an announcement. They didn't tell anybody. So anyway, because Letecia is in charge of everything, this one is her, her trying to run the way mail is processed. So August 5th, 2022, she says, the first page says, warning, do not scan. Privacy Act, 1974. My point is, I know my mail is sent to people, but this should not be. It's protected mental health records from the Department of Defense. I also know someone brings a copy once again, violating the Privacy Act. Regardless, someone in Durham scanned it illegally, and they are the third-party person. I just do not need this distributed to anyone like the rest of my mail is when the copies are sent to others for monitoring. These are privilege records.
That's not how it works, Letecia.
Thank you.
It's not how
Durham
it works.
is not far from me. That's weird because I'm not too far from Durham. So.
Oh, you're not?
Mm-mm.
Huh. I mean, that's not how it works. First of all, Letecia, that's just not how it works. They have to be copied because there has to be a record kept because you're getting, that's just not the process, Letecia. Stop playing with these people. All right, what else you got?
I'm just kind of flipping through. Sorry, I wasn't.
Allie, you sound far away again, babe.
Uh-oh, I wonder if when I came back in, it didn't fix. Hold on, let me know. Turned up all the way. What about now?
No, it just sounds like you're far. What about using your pewter, babe? Or is that too much?
That.
Okay,
no, it's
babe.
not. It'll just take me just a minute, but
it's something with StreamYard and the Google Chrome. I don't know what the deal is. It's been like this for a few days now.
Okay, well, give me just a minute. Oh, and Google Chrome? Huh.
Yeah, because that's what so when you use Android, everything is on Google Chrome. So try, if it keeps up, it said use a different browser.
Oh, okay.
But you could come in. It's just Androids, though. It's not, because I'm on Google Chrome right now, and it's fine. It's just Androids.
Okay, well, I'm going to try. Hold on. Let me try this first before because my computer's at my mom's next door. But
Okay.
I will. But let's try. How about now?
No, now it's way bad.
Way bad? Okay.
Way bad, and there's an echo. And Lord knows nobody wants to hear Jen Lu twice. That's too much Jen Lu. I have not heard of the show Guru Singh talked about called Wild Crime. Christina, I had not heard of that. Huh.
I had a stack of papers that I now cannot find, which is really not like me at all.
Oh, no.
It's really not like me at all. But on it, I had that list of like the alerts. Let me see if I can find it in the document.
Okay. So Wendy says, so they wouldn't have the videos in the case file of her evaluation, or would that be a violation of HIPAA? It's already out there. We just can't hear any of Dr. Lewis's evaluations or her testimony. So it's part of the public record, okay? But for whatever, it's not a violation of HIPAA. The only people who are bound to HIPAA are people who work in the medical field. So doctors, nurses, anybody that handles medical records, medical billing and coding, stuff like that. Those are the only people that are bound by HIPAA. Regular everyday folks, we ain't bound by HIPAA. Okay. And her interview was admitted in its entirety into the public record. However, for whatever reason, I asked for it. Well, one of my friends did, asked for it, requested it from El Paso County, and was told that El Paso County does not have it, that it is property of Dr. Lewis, and therefore you must request it from Dr. Lewis directly. I don't think it has anything to do with HIPAA or anything else like that. I think it's one of those things. Hey, AJ. Oh, wow. Member for 21 months. Wow. Thank you so much for your support for 21 months. That's a long time to hang in with your girl. Okay, Allie's back. Let's hear Allie. How you doing, Allie? Allie? Anyway, I don't know. Personally, this is what I feel like. Remember when the autopsy photos, that whole debacle, right? And the DA was blaming Florida because the autopsy photos initially belonged to the state of Florida, except for when Colorado prosecuted Letecia, then then the autopsy photos became part of that case, and Florida turned it over. Plus, Florida has strict rules against that. Those would have never been part of the case file. There would have never been an accidental situation. Now, listen, I live here. I'm not from here. I'm from Texas. And I know that sometimes Florida be wilding out about with stuff, but this is one thing that they do not play with. They have one of the easiest Freedom of Information Act requests. You don't even have to really request anything. A lot of it is put online. However, there are several things that will never be shown online or never be released to the public, and autopsy photos are 100% one of them. So now I'm over here side-eyeing, kind of wondering what the deal is with Dr. Lewis's interview, because it doesn't make sense. Okay. Oh, Jen's sharing something. Sorry, Jen. My bad. Okay, here we go.
Oh, no, that's okay. I just figured it would be easy if everybody could see it.
Yes. We are visual learners up in here.
So these are the alert codes. She was on suicide risk. That was added on March 5th, 2020 when she got there, and it was removed 1 week later. There was a mental health alert that was added the day she got there, and it wasn't taken off until 2 days after she was gone.
They're still watching her ass. She ain't even there, and they're still watching her.
Right. So she's on FRAD, which is full restraint, assaultive, disruptive. And she was put on that March 5th because, she assaulted the deputy on March 4th.
Right.
And that was removed about 1 year and a week later. Then she was also on full restraint escape from March 5th, the day she got there, until 2 days after she was gone. So she was on a mental health alert the entire time, and she was on full restraint escape. Of course, because
she tried to escape twice.
Plus the other incident.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, babe. Oh, much better.
Okay, and guess what else? StreamYard has a filter now.
Oh, does it?
Like, I'm using it. I don't have, without the filter, I was getting a little bit dark under the eyes and stuff, but yes, now it says.
Where do you do that at?
When you log on and you turn on I went to the settings for the mic because I went to my computer, turned it on, went to the settings for the mic, and where that is, also now there's a new thing. It says new, touch up my appearance.
Oh.
And it filters you. It completely filtered out under the darkness that was under my eyes. That's really
see it right here. Touch up my appearance. You look like hot ass, you guys. I'll tell you what. Y'all get me to how many subscribers do I have right now? 6,700. Give me let's get, when I hit 7,000, I'll cam up for you guys. I'm not doing a whole live though, because I'm too much of a fidgeter, but I'll cam up. I've cammed up before. People have seen me, but I'll do it at 7K. How about that?
That would be freaking awesome. I would love that. Although it doesn't matter. I just think it'd be cool to see your pretty face, even though I see your face, semi often in pictures and stuff. But yeah, I would love that. Yeah, I cannot believe that. That's exciting. It's cool. That's something cool, because I've never.
Oh, that is cool.
I knew people have talked about filters on other like OBS and other streaming platforms, but StreamYard didn't have anything like that. So very cool. But okay, now you can hear me. Yay!
Yay! Okay, now back to these alerts.
Oh, okay. I think we were at just under full restraint escape.
Yes.
So then she was segregated from all for her entire, from March of 2020 until May of 2020. So the first couple months. But no law enforcement contact from March 5th all the way until she was gone. So for her entire stay.
Well, yeah, because first she had an attorney of record, and then she was pro se, which she's awaiting trial, and she was pro se first she had an attorney, then she was pro se for a minute, then she had attorneys. So out of an abundance of caution, they won't allow law enforcement any type of contact with her, because that it is standard operating procedure, but I would imagine that they took extra special care when it comes to Letecia, because let's be honest, it's Letecia, and I think they were at this point familiar with her brand.
Right. So there's several disciplinary lockdowns, and then she was on suicide risk on several different occasions. And then no cellmate or segregated from all. Another disciplinary where it looks like she was locked down from June 23rd of 2022 until July 13th.
Well, Little Red Riding Hood, the thing about the self-harm risks is mainly because, and we're going to get into those when we move more through the jail, when we start reading more through the jail file, but a lot of it was her wanting to be moved from where she was, or not, or getting better and not wanting to be moved back. It all had to do with housing. And so what she would do is she would make a threat, and they cannot, they can't just be like, well, it's Letecia and she's just playing, because you never know. And so they would take it seriously every single time. So a lot of it was just manipulation. Some of it is like they'll do it after somebody gets put in there in the beginning, especially on a charge like this, right? Just to keep an eye on them. And then whenever if they get convicted, then they'll keep them on that to watch them too. Oh, thank you, Punksy. I appreciate that, babe. So sweet, so generous. I appreciate that. Thank you.
This is what I have on the screen. Can you still see it? Yeah. Mm-hmm. The reason I highlighted these two professional visits, that's what this is every professional visit that she had, is because remember that day at trial, that day in court, where the attorneys were really pissed off at each other. And Dave Young is like, Judge, can you force the defense attorneys to respect me in public, please? That's not what he said, but it's basically what he said.
Right.
But anyway, it was over whether or not Letecia's attorneys had met with her on the day in question. It was, Letecia had said something to the doctor. I think it was Christine Moore. Letecia had said something to her about how she hadn't been to Florida. But the problem was that nobody had said anything about Florida, and she kind of popped that out. And so the defense attorneys were arguing that there was a professional visit that day. And so his body was found on the 17th, but it was announced at a press conference on March 20th.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is the paper that, that they wanted to introduce at court, and they ended up just moving away from it. But it was definitely, that was an exciting bit of the trial.
Yeah, because she spilled the beans about being in Florida before, right?
Right.
Before
Right.
anybody had mentioned that
the defense was saying that Katie had come in earlier that day, and her attorney, Katie Strobel, had come in and told her the Florida part. So, but they ended up moving away from it instead of proving that. But all they would need was this document to prove.
Explain it again. Did everybody get that? What she's saying? Did everybody understand that? Because I do, but I just want to make sure everybody understands what Jen is explaining.
Jen is very tired. I do apologize.
Can you make it bigger, babe, please? I think people are having a hard time. Oh yeah, that's much better. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So this was the meeting in question, the professional visit in question, and this took place at 12:35 p.m. Mountain. And so we would have to look at when the press conference was. Oh, actually, no, we wouldn't, because her attorney would have the information before the press conference,
Right.
So that would.
Well, would they?
I would think so.
Why? Why would you think that? I'm just curious. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just curious.
I mean, I'm assuming that it would be disclosed to the defense before it would be disclosed to the public. But I don't know. I kind of don't think so. Hey, thank you, Rebellious Rose, for gifting a membership. I appreciate that. I kind of feel like they wouldn't. They're under no obligation to. Yeah.
Wait, to tell the defense that he was found before the public knows?
Right. They're not.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure about that. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't, only because half the time they're not even notifying families before the public in a lot of these cases.
Correct.
So,
you know who we should ask? Chris. Chris would know.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Chris would know, but I would think that the only okay, I don't think there is a legal obligation for them to let the defense know before they let the public know. I don't think there's anything in the law.
In chat, they said she was told in the Zoom meeting, not in person. Someone else said a WebEx, not in person.
Yeah. Whoa, sorry.
So weren't her visits throwing?
Okay, Allie, now you've asked too many questions and Jen is now throwing things. So let's slow it down a little bit.
Sorry, curious Jen. But weren't their visits over WebEx anyway?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what that list is the list of professional visits, and those were video visits.
Okay, so they're all video visits. That's what I meant.
I think that's what that list was. And then I also wanted to pull up how much. So this is the total amount that Letecia spent while she was housed at the El Paso County Criminal Justice Center. So basically, in 3 years' time, she spent $5,560.32 on commissary.
Unbelievable.
Right.
But that would be food and hygiene, yeah?
And
commissary.
And envelopes and ponytail holders. And
oh my God, so you know everything she bought. Oh, okay. In this, I have not seen this. That is so interesting.
This
Oreos.
I'm sure this is gluten-free.
Chocolate marshmallow. Okay, she's got Oreos, chocolate marshmallow pie, Milky Ways, Jolly Ranchers, Cheetos. Oh my goodness.
I know for a fact Cheetos have gluten.
Right. Gluten-free Flamin' Hot Cheetos. And one bag-o ketchup. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like looking at these. This is interesting.
Well, remember, okay, so I want the girls know because I wrote it down. These are things I've been working on, okay, for the Letecia jail files. These are working titles. Letecia and the Vittori. What had happened was, and what's eating Letecia?
Jen, your titles, all three of them.
Well, I'll let you go over all of this.
No. I just think it's funny because these are like, this is the kind of shenanigans that Letecia gets up to. And I know that I was saying this in Allie's chat the other night. Because people are like, why can't we just leave it alone? Okay. And comparing this to sort of a Chris Watts situation. And I'm going to stop you right there, because the people that are still covering Chris Watts, like day to day, like frequently, all the time, are covering Chris Watts because they don't feel that the case is solved. Okay. That's not this. We're satisfied that the case is 100% solved. Okay. We're not arguing at all that Letecia she's exactly the right person, is in jail for this crime. Absolutely 100%. But I personally feel that in order to tell Gannon's story effectively, for people to be able to understand what living with Letecia is like, this is the closest that we're going to come to understanding, getting a peek into her psyche just a little bit. Now, granted, the only difference I think between Letecia's day-to-day in jail versus her day-to-day before she was arrested is only that the day-to-day in jail is documented, where she was, running loose and unchecked day-to-day at home. Right. But I think that it's important it is part of Gannon's story. We need to tell the whole picture, what happened, what happened, including what kind of shenanigans she pulled in jail in an effort. Some of it was to avoid prosecution, for Pete's sake.
Right. Absolutely. You said you were going to go over this when, Jen? All of this, or did you start
me? Which Jen, or which
the other Jen?
Oh,
curious Jen. Sorry.
Oh no, not you.
I was saying Jen's going to cover it.
Okay.
Yeah, since Jen's going to go over all this, I'm not going to go into great detail. But I did notice that she had some gluten-free strawberry Pop-Tarts.
No. Okay. So Jen, are you going to go through this on your What's Eating Letecia?
Yeah, just the ridiculous stuff. Mainly not so much this, but mainly part of the kites, where she's forever saying, okay, no, I need to be on a special diet. No, I don't need to be. Take it off, put it on, take it off. Like she's speaking to, like the concierge at a freaking hotel. So we can go through this kind of stuff. Jen, you brought it up. You pulled it up. Let's talk about it, girl. Come on.
I just walked away from it. I looked up Edwin just to see, and Edwin is part of nakedwines.com $100 wine voucher.
Oh.
And then look, Patricia says, I'm sorry, I keep picturing you three around a cauldron like Hocus Pocus. Yes, perfect. I love it.
So in her property is 12 free meals from HelloFresh and a $100 wine voucher for nakedwines.com. Also $10 off DoorDash.
These are things that people sent to her?
I'm not. Oh, here's $10 off DoorDash. This is her property.
So what she had on her when
she had on her at the time. Okay.
Well, no, this is when it was brought in. So she got the judge and jury book May 18th of 2021. And then it was also entered again in her
property
July,
in the
but that was a change.
Okay.
And then she donated it on July 16th. And then, different books. So apparently on 5/18/2021, she got a coupon for 12 free meals to HelloFresh. I don't know.
What in the world?
I have no
idea.
What
is she going to do with that?
She got another one on the 10th of May in 2023. I don't know.
I mean,
did people mail it to her?
Or was that?
That's what I'm thinking. People must have mailed it to her.
or maybe it was like a deal or so. I don't know. That's weird because it's the Naked Wine and the HelloFresh and the $10 off DoorDash. And those are like the little coupons you'll get when you buy certain things, and you know what I mean? Or shop on certain places.
Oh, I wonder if somebody who was ordering things for her to be sent, and because the address, it doesn't go to the person that ordered it, it goes directly to Letecia because that's the rules for jail. If they accrued some type of bonus coupon and it was sent along
Yeah, like straight
like
from
that.
the Barnes and Noble or whatever.
Wow.
Wow.
No, they cannot receive HelloFresh in jail. Little Red Riding Hood.
Right.
And I do not think, do they get mail forwarded? Forwarded from where? Like if we were to write her in El Paso and now she's in Kansas, would they send the mail from El Paso to Kansas? I don't think so. Would they,
I don't
Jen?
think so.
Mm-mm.
Oh, look, she got a book called 417 More Games. Because that's exactly what she needed at the time. Leticia's not playing enough games. Send me more games. It's like that scene in Return of the Living Dead where the zombies take over the ambulance and then one of the zombies gets on the radio and says, "Send more paramedics."
Yes.
Send more games. Letecia needs more games. No, Letecia had plenty of games.
Rebecca, they get food delivery in jail or prison. I know there are some jails that you can order, like Subway, stuff like that, KFC. But HelloFresh is something that you have to cook. So I feel like that would be no dice. I don't know.
This little bit of trivia. She and Daryl Brooks both had this book in their property. I Know
What
Why the
is it?
Cold Sword Sings by Maya Angelou.
It's a good book. Thank you, Kelly. Welcome to memberships. Welcome to the Caloos, Kelly B. Place to be.
Okay, I was just kind of scrolling. What should we look up next?
What fun words can we look up, Allie? This is how we spent last Saturday too. Just fun. We're looking up fun throwed off words in the file.
Oh wow, toilet is mentioned at least 190 times.
Oh, yeah. That's the other one I'm going to do is the toilet talk one. I forgot about that one. I just hadn't thought of a title for it.
Ooh, Pitbull, let us know. They found the channel that cleaned up the Dr. Lewis interview.
Oh yeah, tell me the channel. Listen,
Oh yeah,
I am for everybody knowing everything. Like I'm not that I don't care about dropping channels in the chat. I like for people to.
Yeah.
I think knowledge is power and we should all be knowledgeable. And if I can't give you the answer and you've got to outsource, I encourage it.
I know there's all kinds of toilet stuff in the incident reports. We can talk about some of those though, like some of the things that have came out recently, and some I have a few pulled up, but like the throwing the feces water on.
I'm shocked that she didn't catch an additional charge for that, because that is like, first of all,
well,
it's foul. And Letecia strikes me as the type of chick that will spit on you in a fight, which is also foul.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And like scratch and bite and shit like that. But look,
correct.
So she did get charged, but only within the jail. But look, when she first started getting into trouble, they tried to move some of these charges to the DA. They had sent a couple of, like one of the first ones, and he was like, no, just take care of it within the jail. So after that, but like within the jail, they have this board where they'll have hearings and show the evidence against them. And then like she keeps getting punished by like 20 days, no privileges, 5 days, no privileges. She's been found not guilty on a few, but her ass has been in trouble a lot.
See, and to me, that is indicative of the type of person that Letecia is. And the fact of the matter is, she can go in there and say, I don't have a record. Okay. not having a record is not the same as never breaking a law, okay, or not ever committing a crime. Not having a record just means you ain't got caught. Okay, there's a difference. When somebody says, I've never done anything, I'm not a criminal, I've never broken the law, right? That's very different than saying, I don't have a record. Everybody's broken law. If you've ever sped, can talk, you've broken the law. But you know what I'm saying? And Letecia feels like the rules, frankly, don't apply to her. You would think that she would be on her very best behavior in prison, not be trying to, fuck around and find out, frankly. Can you girls hold it down for just a second? I got to let Nestor out, and that takes a minute, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
all
wish
right.
I had that stack of papers I lost in front of me, Allie.
Where do
I
you
wish
think?
it
Where's
too.
the last place that you had it? Where do you close your eyes and think about it for a second? Like, where's the last place you remember seeing it?
Oh, I can't even remember. And if I close my eyes for
You might
too
go to
long, I
sleep.
might fall asleep.
You're gonna nod out.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. I'll like bust in with that. Do you want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? From Dumb and Dumber.
Right. I'm gonna
All right,
nod
I'll be
out
right
like
back,
Amy Ling in
girls.
the lobby of a mechanic.
I'll be right back. Thank you, girls.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay, what word should I seek out now, Allie?
Let me think here. Oh, I have one. Hold on. I'll tell you, shoot, one of the words out of it or the page number if the page is on here.
Okay.
Just a sec. Arr, my freaking Facebook Messenger. Okay.
Yeah, I love how when you told me about the poop water incident,
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't even read any of the details, and my immediate response was something about, she'll do anything to get her way.
Yes.
I mean, I just knew. As soon as you said she threw poop water on somebody, I was like, well, she probably wasn't getting her way. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh my God, you're exactly right. Like, yeah.
That was freaking crazy because that's exactly what she was doing to get moved. But then she blamed it on Maria. She said, "Oh, it wasn't me; it was Maria."
Okay, Maria.
Oh, why don't you look up the word personality? Because there was a couple in some that I grabbed where she would say things like, "This personality won't eat" and stuff like that. This personality she was also still self-reporting. Like, it wasn't, "I'm hallucinating." Damn it. What was it? It was, "Oh, I'm manic. I'm so manic right now."
Okay. So on June 10th, 2022, I was assigned as the primary deputy in blank at the El Paso County Jail. At approximately 18:21, Deputy Lee briefed me that inmate Stauch was currently on a food roster due to refusing 3 consecutive meals. During the welfare check, I attempted to speak with inmate Stauch regarding why she was refusing meals. Inmate Stauch responded, quote, "The personality I am in right now is not going to eat," unquote. That's so ridiculous.
I know.
Yeah, in one of those letters that she wrote to random strangers off the internet, she said, "I've changed my name to Janelle." And then she tried to pretend that she was speaking as Janelle, but she would have to jump back into Letecia mode in order to explain things like her education and a doctorate degree.
Oh my
She would
God.
jump back into trying to be Janelle, which she had changed her name to. That's, as far as I know, that's not how dissociative identity or disorder works.
No. And one of our viewers actually, and one of my favorites in the chat, which I love all you guys so much, has DID, and she could explain a little better to us, but no, I don't believe that's how it works either. And it's funny because she doesn't even realize that she gives herself away with this self-reporting type stuff. Oh wait, is this another one where she says my personality I am in is not going to eat? That's a different report, right?
It's a different report, but I think it's the same incident.
Oh,
This
okay.
one's June 10th. But this one goes on to say that they observed Letecia displaying odd behavior, standing in the middle of her cell with her hair in her face and attempting to speak to herself. That was Letecia performing.
Yeah. One time she was in there naked, And then she was like, put on, it was either naked or in bra and panties, but she like put a piece of toilet paper in the floor, like a line of it, and then was jumping over it. Like she did a lot of that performing. She'd be in her cell doing handstands or dancing or. Yeah, I'm going into my altar in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Right.
Exactly.
There's another report where she's playing baseball with toilet paper.
Yeah, I know that one's where she's swinging it like a ball bat or something.
Yes, where she's, I think she's reliving that scene from, I think it's not Break. What's the second one? New Moon. What's the one they play baseball in? Yeah, it is New Moon, I think. I don't know.
I don't
whatever.
remember because
Maybe
they
it's
all run together for me.
Maybe it's the first one. I don't know. Whatever. One of those.
Are you looking at personality?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I would like to appeal my write-up. I notified several individuals that the inmate was taking my commissary, was in possession of drugs, and flicked shit at me because I wouldn't give her food nor help her remove drugs. I did not want to be roped into the drug ring going on in blank. Deputy Cavalier tried to move me after the shit was flicked at me by the inmate, but the ward deputy degraded her and said no. The inmate put the shit in my milk carton because she was high, and I did not know. How is she not disciplined when I was at risk for hepatitis? I can't control a personality switch when I was exposed to the shit via her. I don't care. Understand.
I don't care.
Wow.
Understand?
You got to put some stank on that, Jen. Let's try that again. Make it bigger, please, for me, so I can read it, and I will show you how. Let me read it like Letecia would do it.
Yes.
Here we go. I would like to appeal my write-up. I notified several individuals that the inmate was taking my commissary, was in possession of drugs, and flicked shit at me because I wouldn't give her food nor help her remove drugs. I did not want to be roped into the drug ring going on in blank. Deputy Cavalier tried to move me after the shit was flicked at me by the inmate, but the ward deputy degraded her and said no. The inmate put the shit in my milk carton because she was high, and I did not know. How is she not disciplined when I was at risk for hepatitis or hep? I can't control a personality switch when I was exposed to the shit via her. I don't care. Understand?
Can you see what they said back to her after that one?
You need to be specific. Okay. Incident report. Okay. I have reviewed the incident report and the hearing board officer's report and agree with the guilty finding and sanction time given. Your appeal is denied.
Somebody, Sean said Shatisha.
Shatisha. Oh my God. I got it. Oh my gosh.
Oops, one more.
Let me think. Okay, what about the word Jesus?
Oh.
Because I know she uses that one a couple times that I've seen in pretty ridiculous ways.
How many hits for Jesus? 15 hits for Jesus.
Who put shit in milk? Oh, that's rude. That's unacceptable.
So this is April 28th, 2020. At approximately 8:08:09 hours, I was asked by medical staff member blank to assist with her giving inmate Letecia Stauch her morning medication. I asked him if he could accompany us to conduct the medication pass for inmate Stauch. Sergeant Benjamin blank and I proceeded to blank Sergeant Benjamin opened the cell door while Inmate Stauch went to the sink and got her cup. Blank filled Inmate Stauch's cup with an Ensure-type drink and then handed her a small plastic cup with a pill in it. Inmate Stauch was going to take the pill and then drink some of the Ensure from the cup. I informed Inmate Stauch I was not going to be able to determine if she took the pill if she drank from her cup due to the liquid not being see-through. I asked her to pour some of the drink into the plastic cup and drink out of the plastic cup. Therefore, I could verify that she took the medication. Inmate Stauch got very upset and stated I was the only one to make a big deal out of it and that I needed Jesus. Inmate Stauch also informed me I was in her notes already.
Oh, dear.
She angrily walked to the sink with the little plastic cup and put water in it and took her medication. Inmate Stauch handed me the little cup and I conducted the mouth check before I exited the cell. I really wish conducted the mouth check had an entirely different meaning than it, than what it actually means in this report. Oh, I'll conduct a mouth check. All right. Sorry. Corporal punishment is bad. Corporal punishment is bad. I'm just going to keep telling myself that's true, even when it's Letecia. Okay, so let's see. Number 2. Inmate Stauch said she did not speak with mental health because they haven't done anything to help her in the past. She also said she does not trust them. Inmate Stauch then said, I just need Jesus, and normally he is here with me, but today he isn't. I don't know.
Jesus or justice, Letecia?
Right. Inmate Stauch was saying something along the lines of nobody can replace the king and that Jesus is coming. She was also repeating in the remembrance of Jesus. She also said that she's a vampire and likes to drink blood, while proceeding to take a drink out of her milk carton. I asked her multiple times what was in her milk carton. She ignored me and kept talking to herself. I also asked her multiple times if she was bleeding from anywhere on her body. Inmate Stauch continued to ignore everything I said to her. I did not notice any visible blood coming from anywhere on her body. A couple wellness checks later, I noticed her pacing and talking to herself. I stopped and addressed her by saying, Stauch, are you okay? Do you need to see mental health? She said, Genevieve does not need help. I said, no, you do need to speak. Do you need to speak with mental health? She replied with, no, Genevieve is in perfect health condition. I continued my wellness check. So now we have Genevieve. Got it. G group, right?
G group. Yeah, that didn't, and interestingly enough, that didn't come up.
Yeah, this report is the only time I've heard Genevieve.
Me too.
So that's definitely a new one. I have a running list. Oh, wait. We're looking for Jesus. That's the same document. And then it's just going to be books. These are just different books that she had with that in the title. Yeah, and then this is the first one. Okay, what's next?
We search Gannon?
Wait, that was
Oh,
it?
you guys did that already?
That was it for Jesus?
Yeah, that was it.
Hold on a minute. Because there's one.
Because we searched Gannon because that's how we found out about the inmate that she told that alleges that she said that she shot him in the jaw. Oh my goodness. Aries PR. Breaking news. Oh wait, I promised people I would highlight the comments. I remember now. Breaking news. New Ebola variant called Letecia found most powerful Letecia found most powerful of them all. Makes you smell like poop. Oh boy.
What else? I looked up Edwin. That was a no-go. Let's look up Edgar.
Because they have him redacted, I guess, or
that was his code name. No.
I wonder in case, because in some of the reports, this is one of the things I'm most interested in. Ooh, it's cold out here. In some of the reports, like you'll see the deputies say things like, she tried to talk to me about her case, or she went to talk to me about her case. I just wonder if that's a word that would be in there a bunch of times for other stuff, because that would be an interesting one. I want to know when she's mentioned those things, because those confessions are just, they blew my mind. And I'm sure that we're not that far into the reports, really.
No, we're not. Mm-mm.
The word confession is mentioned 7 times. So far, it's just in books.
Yeah, that sucks. Case, maybe? Or would that be in there for like
1,000? Yeah.
Talking about case, I shut her down.
742 times.
Oh my God. Yeah, I knew it would be
Wow.
something like that. Dang it. Yeah, I usually stream outside, but now that it's getting cold, I'm probably going to reevaluate this situation a little bit. Definitely
Okay, Steph sells stuff by the seashore, wants us to do blood.
Oh, that's a good one.
Good one.
I feel like we
And
did
remember,
that.
in order for this to be picked up, these words to be picked up, she has to have spelled them properly. So there's always that factor.
That's true. Sometimes she'd be putting a typo, like there were several.
October 2020 had blood on her face during formal welfare check. While she was brushing her teeth, I could see her spit blood into the sink. That was when she had a problem with her veneer.
Elena says, so the word sorry. Psst, I doubt that's in there ever. But
Yeah.
Rachel says, why come?
I saw a significant amount of blood smeared all over her face. Yeah. She had no injury, though.
Yeah, see, that's part of the Volturi.
Right. Well, and when she said happy birthday to Harley that day, that's when she was using the tissue as if she had been bitten on the neck by a vampire.
Yes, which makes no sense, because if you're training to be a vampire, they don't feed off of each other. That's just ridiculous.
Right.
Letecia, you don't even know the rules to be a vampire. That's why you didn't make it.
You mean in court?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I remember that.
Yeah, remember we couldn't figure out what the heck she was doing?
Oh my gosh. Wow, okay. That's pretty crazy to think about now with all the...
Oh, Pitbull says, notes. How many times has she told someone she has them in her notes?
Yeah, no doubt. This is her blood painting on the wall. Remember you said, Jen, that like you're like, she has to, Curious Jen said she wants to make sure you see what she's done. Like she's trying, it's, you know, a show basically. She gets the officer and she's like, come look at this painting on my wall. And the pictures are right underneath if you keep scrolling.
Down here.
Yep. Oh my God.
What the hell is that? She can't even draw good.
Again, no injury. No visible injury.
So it makes you wonder where she's getting that.
But I looked and the dates are not lining up unless she's like, you know, really irregular or something. Because like at least those two, just those two. That's all I looked at.
Okay. Well, how far apart are they?
Like one's at like the beginning of the month and one's at like the 20th or something like that.
Well, she's in her mid-30s. So she might be trying. You know how sometimes you start at the first, and then you start earlier and earlier and earlier, always working your way back to the first one. Why don't you just stay at the first? I don't know why your body does that, but you know what I'm saying? I wonder if that's what it was about. I don't know, because if she had no visible injuries, where was she getting the blood?
I know.
But she's worried about blood pathogens in the air from sanitary napkins and COVID.
Right.
She's painting with blood.
Maybe it's Bago ketchup.
Oh my gosh, Kate is trying to transcribe the Dr. Lewis interview. And KK, that is so sweet of you, but also don't do it if you don't really like want to, because I know it's going to be difficult, because transcribing those Landon videos was like, I didn't realize I was putting myself in for like 6-7 hours of work. So that is so sweet. But yeah, let us know how that goes and what you decide, but also no pressure, because that's a lot.
And Lawn Crime enhanced the audio on one of them. I know that.
Yeah, they said it was a 15-minute clip or video.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Here she's worried about her blood sugar and vitamin D levels, and she'd like to have a blood draw.
Oh my God.
She's not getting enough sunlight.
Shut up, Letecia.
Can I get the results of my blood draws, please?
My favorite, though, is where she was mad about her weight. That's not how much she weighs, and that they didn't weigh her, and that she told them, I refuse to be weighed, and they can make up a number. Remember that one? That one's one of my favorites. You know, Angela, I'm not sure if she has contact with her mom. I don't know what the deal is with there.
Here's one. I need clothes, so I stopped putting the blood in a cup and drinking it. Need underwear too, please. I haven't showered in 3 weeks.
It was never an issue before, Letecia.
Right. I don't understand what the clothes would have to do with the blood in a cup.
You know what? When we read this last weekend, Jen, Allie and I were stumped there too. What does that even mean, Letecia? That makes no damn sense. None. How is clothes going to stop any of what you're doing? Don't you have clothes on right now? Are you standing there at the kiosk naked?
Right. And those were duplicates. Okay, what's the next word, chat? I can't believe I wasn't prepared with my stack.
Maybe notes. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now, babe.
Okay. Maybe notes. That would be an interesting one, but
21 times.
How many?
21 times. Inmate at the door trying to pass notes and get others to make calls for her. Inmate was moved to blank. Inmate said she fell and hit head on concrete, but would not accept medical care.
Of course she didn't.
And here's where she says,
No, you're in my notes.
You're in my notes. Oh, this is about the escape. We've been over that one already.
Mm-hmm.
Handwritten notes. Professional visit. Oh, this is when she was throwing a fit because she didn't think that her professional visits should come out of her hour out.
Also, the word boy, that's a good idea because that's the way that Gannon was referred to by her in one of these. So, yeah, and then I'm going to be right back, you guys.
Again, with the hitting her head, this woman has hit her head more times. She's like that guy, Ralph in The Great Outdoors, who's been struck by lightning 66 times in the head. Remember?
No, I don't remember that one. Allie's read this one where she refers to him as that little boy.
Yes.
Well, this is the other person saying that she was part of the searches. And then this was the escape where the woman was a bit of a bad boy. Blank wants to murder inmate Stauch over the boy in the toilet.
Oh, that must be the toilet talking.
So blank wants to murder inmate Stauch over Edwin Figueroa.
Well,
I
or
wonder what-
some dude, and maybe somebody else Letecia was talking to in the toilet. That's the thing about toilet talking. It's hit or miss.
Right. Sorry, I had
Perhaps
to
the
be on.
person below or above, however it goes, right, were
Yeah, they're above.
moved above.
Yeah.
Okay, so the person above them. What if Edwin wasn't in there, but his cellmate was?
Right.
And that cellmate might be booed up with somebody else in Leticia's ward. You know what I'm saying? And here's Letecia talking to somebody else's man in the toilet.
Right. I know when she was on the phone with Aunt Katrina, I think it was Aunt Katrina, where she kind of, moves away from the phone and she's like, Michelle, what's his last name again? I wonder if
Yes.
this is Michelle. Who knows?
Who
Let's
knows?
see what it says. While inmate Stauch was in the day room on her hour out, she and inmate Blank had a verbal altercation that was supposedly over toilet talking. From what I understood, one of the male inmates who Blank was speaking to on the toilet in the ward above Blank had also talked to inmate Stauch. Inmate Blank was complaining loudly to another inmate in the ward. Inmate Stauch could hear her and told something to the effect of grow up and quit talking shit. I can hear everything you're saying. Inmate Blank was angry about this and screamed out her cell that she was going to murder inmate Stauch. Inmate Blank told her to mind her own business and screamed out she wasn't even talking to her. Inmate Stauch replied by saying something along the lines of, I ain't no punk, you're acting like a child. Those people don't actually care about us. She also stated she knew self-defense and would fight back. Inmate Blank began pounding violently on her door, and I thought that she might be able to break it open if she continued to hit it. I and an assisting deputy went upstairs to speak with inmate Blank. While deputies attempted to speak to inmate Blank to calm her down, she stated, I'll kill that bitch for Gannon. And when I get this door open, I won't stop until I kill her. She hit her door several times extremely hard. She seemed to calm down while talking to the deputies in the ward and stopped hitting her door. She then stopped talking to inmate Stauch for the rest of the night. And then segregations were placed, and I wonder if that's one where Letecia filed to get the segregation alert removed.
Oh, you know what? Maybe.
But I didn't I wonder what that means, why they thought it was about toilet talking.
Yeah, it's kind of
Tiffany
confusing.
Taylor Stauch, we talked about that. Tiffany Taylor Stauch.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point, Law Nerd Amber. I just realized, let me highlight this because I promised somebody I would. I just realized if she's a vampire, why come she didn't turn into a bat and fly out of there?
Look at this. At approximately 11:15 hours, I observed inmate Stauch singing and dancing within her cell. Inmate Stauch abruptly yelled, I'm manic as hell. I did not reply and continued my welfare check of the ward. While conducting my next welfare check, inmate Stauch stopped me at her cell door and stated she had been manic for 4 days now. She continued by stating she does not get the medication she needs for bipolar and is often manic for a week before she crashes.
Letecia. Christina wants to know, Crime Curious, can you please answer a question? When did Aunt Katrina stop talking to her?
I don't know the answer to that question yet, but we will find out, as we continue in the jail calls. But as of yet, I don't know the answer to that question.
LNS, she did, and I've that video. I have a video. They're all ready to go. I just need to talk about them, and I just, this week isn't not been. Last week was just not good for me. Okay, it was a hard week, and but I promise you guys, I'll get that out, and we're going to talk about that very incident. Yes, indeedy, we are, because that's something different. I mean, it on its face, if you think about it, it seems like one thing, but it's really about another, as everything is with Letecia. You know, she's like Shrek and ogres. She's got layers.
So I was trying to read around the context because this isn't something that I had seen before.
Mm-hmm.
But that's, I mean, there's this picture, and that's definitely not Leticia's hand. So why would it be in this report? I don't know. Everything appears redacted.
It
So
seems
maybe that's her cellmate's hand?
maybe, but it also seems like sometimes some of the officers write, if Leticia's done something, they write it up, but they also write up right below that or right above that something that another inmate has done. And so it ends up getting put with her stuff. We're still waiting on the November calls, Pitbull. I'm not sure.
Yeah, November and December as a total of 77 calls.
Yes, we're still waiting for all those.
Okay, what's our next word search?
Restraints. Nancy wants restraints.
Inmate did not have
Jail
our
Tisha
out
and high school Tisha were very much.
What, Ellie?
Can you hear me?
Now we can.
Okay. Kraken said, I just got back. Kraken said that jail Tisha and high school Tisha were probably very much alike, and I agree with that. I think she has a mentality of a teenager, period. She just does in so many ways. And I wonder what that is, like what step, because, you know, sometimes people get that way because of drugs or something like that, but something stunted her growth majorly.
Some people, I think, are just always just for whatever. I don't know what her home life was like, you know, because if you hear it from Letecia, it's one way, and if you hear it from her brother, it's a different way. And Amy, it's a different, you know, Amy, bless her heart, she tries to be like on the fence. She doesn't want to upset Letecia, so she'll her, right? But that's not really an agreeing, you know, she's not really agreeing with what Letecia says. She's more like just placating her. So it's kind of hard to know. But I think that I think it has to do a lot with her actual personality disorder. She's got cluster B all over her. And though she seems like we've all run into people like that. We've all run into people who are just, and there's something about the cluster Bs that a lot of people will refer to them as narcissists. And that's, I mean, everybody has a bit of narcissism in them. We're supposed to. That's the whole reason why they tell you, you know, you got to put the air mask on yourself before you can put it on somebody else. There's a little narcissism. Looking out for yourself is healthy. Being so, but with Letecia, I think what Letecia with her cluster B business is she's learned and finally honed her manipulation tactics. And essentially she's like an emotional terrorist. You know, like when Al would start to ask her the hard questions, that's when she would start that weird squawking, squeaky, high-pitched voice where like it's one octave below and only dogs can hear. You know what I mean? Because it's worked before. So she, you know, like how she guilts Harley. Human beings, and this doesn't have anything to do with like a personality disorder or not, just the way human beings are made up. Human beings do what works. I mean, think about it when you were raising your kids. If you found a technique that worked, did you not stick with it? Yes, because why rock the boat, especially with toddlers, you know? So and I think that's a lot of the reason why she, you know, I think it's part of her personality disorder that she's just selfish and emotionally immature. Exactly, honey. She exhausts people to the point where they let her win the fight.
Right.
That's really what it is. She just wears you down. You're just like, it's not worth it to you to win. Unfortunately, Leticia's never come across somebody like me, where sometimes that works with me, but then I can be in a mood where I just feel like having an argument, and I just want to exercise my litigation chops. And so I will continue to argue until I wear the other person out. And I've been known to do that. It's not intentional. It's not malicious. It's just, sometimes people poke you and then they don't like what they get. Now what you searching? Restraint? Anything good?
Yeah, there's hundreds. So I've just been kind of fishing through it. Yeah, we're going to have to get more specific.
We need more specifics. Who copied me, Jen? Which Jen? Probably me, because I was the only one talking. She's crazy. She does too much for too much. She just does too much.
Okay, what's the word? Bird is the word.
Well, a bird. Should put diet in there. I bet that's like 11 billion times.
Oh, yeah, that would be a bunch. Yeah.
Oh, someone suggested nightmares. Didn't we do that already? But we can do it again. Because I know that was a kite that you were upset about, Jen. I distinctly remember that. And the reason why I remember that so well is because I was listening to you while I was in the shower.
Yeah.
And it was in that moment that I realized that I had left the towel on the door. And I remember that moment.
I have bad nightmares and sleepwalking. This was told to mental health since the beginning. I flipped off the top bunk and landed on my back, knocking the breath out of me. Can I get some ibuprofen? Because my ribs and back are in pain. Thanks. You have been scheduled for a nurse sick call to address your concern. Thank you. And then she keeps on. This is my second kite. I need to be bottom bunk. I've never had an issue with this, and I informed the staff of my sleepwalking and nightmares 2 years ago. I was released at MEPS for this condition and received mental health treatment since for it. This is the second time in 3 nights that I flipped off, and my cellmate can verify it. I had to wash matted blood out of my hair. I alerted the deputy both times, and she has tried to call medical. See previous kite.
Yeah, they're not playing your reindeer games, Letecia.
I am waiting to get a restriction for bottom bunk. I kited ask how. It's not there.
No.
When I have had sleepwalking issues. I missed it.
Say it again, Allie.
I said what actually happened was while she needed the ibuprofen as she was in her.
Oh, damn it. We're cut off on the punchline.
Yeah, we can't hear you at all, Allie.
She's having internet trouble, she said.
I am waiting to get a restriction for bottom bunk. I kited to ask how. It's not there. When I have had sleepwalking issues that were told at intake 2 years ago. I kited after the multiple times of getting hurt and was told I was on sick call. The bruising on my back is yellow now, almost gone, and the gash in my head has scabbed and almost healed. Either way, I need the restriction fixed, please, and thank you.
So basically, you're fine. Everything's healing.
Hello, you are scheduled to be seen by a nurse in sick call. Please be patient. There is only one sick call nurse at this time. I expected to kind of see some more. Okay, on July 22nd, I busted my head open and showed the deputy. I was put Sorry.
Fucking Letecia.
I was put on a sick call that didn't come until August 17th. Medical has refused to put a bottom bunk restriction on. I have documented sleepwalking, which is a severe sleep condition. I do not want to speak to Maggie or sick call. I want to speak to someone in charge of this. I have
Okay, so now you're.
documentation.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Jen. I'm sorry.
I have documentation of someone in a similar situation who has the restriction without the sleep disorder or seizures. And then they respond with, you do not meet the medical requirements to be placed on bottom bunk and or bottom tier. Medical has certain criteria that is needed in order to grant request. And all I can think about is like fakeheadinjury.com.
Yes. Yes. But here's the thing. How do you know what do you know about somebody else's documentation, Letecia? There was something else I wanted to say, but Allie said, oh my God, my computer service isn't good and I can't use my phone. That cut me off right in the middle of my sentence. Oh, I know what I was going to say. The sleepwalking that was documented at intake. Okay, Letecia, you telling them that you have a sleepwalking disorder is not the same as documented sleep disorder. This means, sleepwalking disorder. That requires somebody with, actual credentials, not, a PhD in lying.
Right. And then now in July of 2020, she's on medication. She just started medication for nightmares.
She doesn't believe in medication. What the fuck are you talking about?
Right. Yeah, I had a really hard time with that one because, she earned every nightmare. But if the nightmares are real, I doubt they are.
Right. I don't think she has nightmares either.
Yeah, I have a sneaking suspicion that she sleeps just fine. As unfortunate as that is, I believe it to be true.
Well, I think
she's, Prisneyland and all.
Well, I think that I think that it's if she isn't sleeping well, it's not for any other reason. It's not for her conscience. It's not because she's, haunted by what she did or guilt ridden over what she did or the choices that she made at all ever, let alone with respect to Gannon. Because the fact of the matter is the kind of person that can do what she did that won't have that kind of conscience. It won't keep them up at night. If she's uncomfortable, it's because, the Volturi are coming into her room, asking her all kinds of questions and being bugaboos. And, that damn vampire camp is subpar. They don't even have a food converter. And half the people don't even know that they're in camp to become a Volturi. The other half think that she's making it up. And I think, honestly, the reason she didn't make the cut with the Volturi is because I bet it's like fucking Fight Club. The first rule of the Volturi is you don't talk about the Volturi. And she broke that rule like 87 times just on the phone.
Right.
So
ridiculous. And this kite makes me want to get a hold of the August 2020 calls. And we should go back and get June, July, August, and September since we started in October. I just knew that October was going to be good. So that's where I wanted to start. But I do want to hear the rest of the calls as well that happened prior to that. Because I know that right around the same time that she sent this kite, she also called, random stranger from the internet and spoke to that person on a recorded call in this same, what I think is fake. She's purposely trying to sound crazy and dropping more cryptic bullshit. So not only did she put out this kite and have it recorded that way, but she also called a person who she already knew was recording the call, and she knew they were recording the call, and she knew it would come back around. But I would like to solve some of the puzzles that are here. I mean, I know it's lies, but I still explore every single lie.
Well, it's because Letecia, she's not like the kind of person who just lies to lie. But you think that she's lying for one reason. Like if you just look at what the lie is, and you think you can figure out why she lied, what she's trying to, but it usually ends up being something different. The real purpose for the lie is something different. You know what I mean? It's like none of it, she even is extra when she lies. She can't just lie for a single purpose. She lies for multi purposes, and sometimes you have to put together multiple lies to figure out the bigger picture of the real intention behind the lie. It's a lot.
Yeah. Well, what do you think the intention with this one is? Being held hostage with camera people everywhere and no one helps. And they took my water from my dog. So now she's got rental properties and a dog.
And camera people.
Is it a vampire dog? I mean, we need to know.
Letecia. When was that? Tell me what the date of that was, please, ma'am.
The dog was August 2020.
Interesting. See, I think that just hear me out here. I think that when she first started meeting with her attorneys, I think that her attorneys were probably trying to get her to take a plea deal. And I think that Letecia was not down for a plea deal because, the main component to a plea deal is you're pleading, which means you're agreeing with something that the state is charging you with, right? She's not going to do that. So I think what she started to do is she started to refuse visits. And I think what she then cooked up is the beginnings of what would later become her defense. And I think that I even think that her requesting to be pro se, I don't think she ever had the intention of representing herself. I actually think that it was part of this insanity defense because I think that's what I think. I think that she thought to herself, people will think I'm really crazy if I try to represent myself. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
And so what do you think?
Oh, I mean, I think it's possible. It's just, it would be hard to prove, but it makes good logical sense, which doesn't always apply in this case, but
this is true, which means it's probably incorrect. It's just, right. it just from listening to her phone calls and I mean all of them, not just the jail calls, but the pretext calls. When you really listen to them, I hear personally, I can almost hear the wheels turning. Now, does that mean that I have her intent correct? No, which is one thing. It's very hard to prove intent. And, even in court of law, for Pete's sake, it's difficult to prove what somebody was thinking. Not intent. That's not the right word. What somebody's thinking. And, but for Letecia, it just seems like she's in the business of doing a simultaneous short con with a long con.
Right.
She will do things to better a short-term con for a long-term gain.
Right.
And I just feel like there's part of me that thinks that her initial attorneys looked at the evidence, looked at the discovery and said, I don't, I think how do you feel about a plea deal? And the fact of the matter is they might have only it might have only been mentioned one time to Letecia because they do have to ask that. How do you feel about a plea deal? What do you want done? That's how attorney-client meetings go. And Letecia is the type of person that will not hear the 87 other questions after that question that was asked or the 87 other topics discussed. She's going to hone in on the one thing about a plea deal. And I think when she heard that, I think she honed in on it and thought, well, they've seen what the state has against me, and they're talking to me about a plea deal, which means maybe what if I went for a not guilty by reason of insanity? Do you know what I mean? I just feel like the not guilty by reason of insanity did not come from her second set of attorneys. I think Letecia was laying the groundwork for that.
Oh yeah, I think it was always a backup plan.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about the cartel. I feel like that was always a backup.
Yeah.
Patsy.
Yeah. I think she was
she
going to
had
try to
backups
pin
and
this on
backups and
Edwin.
backups.
Correct. See, she's got like I'm sure she has, I'm sure there's like a technical name for it. I'm sure there's something in the, DSM or whatever, but I just feel like she's a multifaceted. She's working several cons at one time, but with one long-term goal in mind, if that makes sense.
Well, and
yeah, Allie's having technical issues, MJ.
We know that she was still faking on the vampire front, even at trial, because of the scene with the tissues and the whatnots.
Yes.
But I wonder if it still has continued into Kansas.
I'm curious about that as well. And you know what else I'm curious about? I'm curious about with the vampire thing. Oh, forgot. I got distracted by chat. I should know. It'll come back. Give me a minute. Let's talk about something else.
Report the mail. Oh, this is one that I wanted to get your input on.
Okay.
Report the mail in Douglas County ran over because this is Operation Get Rid of Predators, Chomo's harassers. He has been there for a long time. He was ran over and left. No dream. Goodbye to that man.
This is...
Any guesses?
No, well, I want to say this. This is something she wrote to Allie.
Yeah, she mentioned the Chomo killer gang, which Allie read a part of a incident report where it was somebody else's. Somebody else was in the Chomo killer gang, and they wanted a piece of Letecia. And
no, but remember when she wrote on that Getting Out app? She wrote almost that same, what she's writing right here. She was telling us to look at, or telling Allie to look it up.
Right. Yeah, I was just stating whenever.
Oh, sorry.
Just that it was also mentioned before any of this, before she started claiming that she was part of this organization. There was actually another inmate who was part of this organization that wanted to get at Letecia pretty badly.
Wow.
And now Leticia's taking it on as her own, as if she's part of it. Like, no, you were the target.
Yeah, Letecia, what the French? She's so ridiculous.
And I think that this is just supposed to be this, but it threw me off because I saw Ty is Operation Get Rid of Predators. And the only reason it threw me off is because at one point, Letecia did say that her biological son, his name is Ty. Now, if I remember correctly, the Taylor personality has a husband, and I think that the husband's name is Tyler. And then they have kids.
Yes, that's correct.
The alternate personality. I think the alternate personality had like 3 kids. Does that sound right?
Yes.
And so maybe that's it. But, if so, then she wrote that letter in August of 2020 to the judge. Was she already on the mental health kick at that point?
Well,
there's the blood in the cup.
Well, think about where Letecia was a lot during these, what we're reading now and the phone calls, right? She spent a good amount of time in the, like in the medical
Yeah.
ward.
Yeah.
And imagine the things that she overheard while in there. I'm sure that there were people that came in there or around her
Yeah.
with legitimate mental health disorders, right? And I think what Letecia does is picks up fragments of things, because I'm sure she couldn't hear every single thing, right? So she's only hearing bits and pieces. And let's be honest, smart people know what they don't know, right? Letecia, sorry, I would not consider you to be a smart person in that way, because you think you know everything. That's a problem. So I think what she's doing is hearing bits and pieces of these other inmate stories and sort of piecing them together. But because she's not experiencing true mental health disorder that in the way that she's trying to portray. I'm not saying she ain't got mental health issues. I think that's clear. But the ones that she's trying to portray that she has, that's why it comes out the way that it does. But I think that she's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, she assimilates other people's conditions, and she
Yes.
learns only enough about the condition to try and take it on as her own and exploit it somehow.
Right.
But she does, and she's an energy vampire in that way.
Yes.
That's the only vampire that
That's
she
the
is.
only vampire that she is.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. I know what I was going to say about the vampires. I wonder if during some of the pretrial hearings that there was talk about getting either jail phone calls or jail records or something to that effect. And that is why Letecia started to do the whole vampire thing in court, just in case they brought that out. The state brought that out or brought it up.
Yeah. Well, I know that during the brief time that she did represent herself, she was given a list of all the pieces of evidence. And in that list was jail calls. But that was in February of 2021. So,
yeah, but what I'm saying is that I think she remembered the bullshit. Obviously, she would remember what she did in jail, right? From, with the Volturi and the vampires and stuff like that. What I'm saying is, why she acted the way she did in court was in case they did bring that out. It's
right.
a continuing thing. It wasn't something that she just made up in the moment. You see what I'm saying? It's like to her, it would be evidence of ongoing mental health issues, right?
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, she's sending signals, just like when she was in court and she referenced that Kenny Rogers song, The Gambler. That was her communicating with Albert on this public stage in a court setting. She was taking little digs at Albert, and she did the same thing with Landon, and Landon talked about it too. Not everybody catches each of these things, but what she's doing is she's making digs.
Yes.
And Landon spoke on that as well. That a lot of those things go missed, but, Landon knows what she really means by what she says. And Letecia knows that she's communicating directly to Landon with those digs. She knew that she was communicating directly to Albert in that courtroom without talking to him at all. And she does the same thing with a lot of other situations, So she's very much into this, if you know, then you know sort of thing. And she expects some people to blow it off as gibberish, and she expects it to get to the right people. And she is a study in communication, that's for sure.
Yeah, she is. And it's kind of makes you wonder where she got all this from. Like who's the Jodi Arias is, I suspect, probably a cluster B. And I have to say, you guys, I've watched a lot of trials. I've watched a lot of interrogations. Like, true crime is in my blood. My mom loved 2020, loved it. And then when Dateline came out, she loved that one too. And 48 Hours, yes, please. So I watched all that stuff with my mom. And then when the ID network came out and it was all crime all the time, she was in heaven. So was I. We'd watch it together, and I would look at her and she would look at me. Can you believe this idiot? Anyway, but I've seen a lot of stuff over a lifetime in these cases, and I've never seen a Letecia ever.
Yeah.
She takes the cake. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. Blah blah blah. Welcome. Thank you for joining memberships. Let me look at my phone because I can't see it on the. Welcome to the cookie list. I've never seen somebody like Letecia. I've seen, and Debbie, I got it. Thank you so much, babe. I've seen a lot of things in my day. I've seen a lot of attempts at act, and I don't like to use this word, but this is the only word I know how to use right now because it's late and I'm tired. But acting crazy, pretending, feigning mental health, feigning a specific mental health issue, like for Letecia DID. I've seen that before, but not like this. I've never come across a Letecia Stauch, and I've studied some messed up cases, but never anything like her.
Yeah, it's just so blatantly obvious that she's malingering. I still don't understand how Dr. Lewis could have diagnosed her with DID, given, what part of the charade we saw. How do you get somebody to diagnose you with DID when that's your act? That's why I want to see the entire 14 hours.
Exactly, because when and this is to be fair to Dr. Lewis, and I'm glad you brought that up, because to be fair to Dr. Lewis, what we saw was what the state chose to play. I was curious about that as well. Like I didn't understand why. First of all, Dr. Lewis is an incredibly intelligent woman. She's good at what she does. And she really went into the whole situation in her career actually trying to help. Okay. How it got to how it ended with Letecia is kind of sad, actually, that's going to be probably one of her last cases. And It's her. It's actually kind of tragic. And the thing is that the defense would have known. Mr. Cellini strikes me as extremely thorough, and he would have known that Dr. Lewis is known not to be great at testifying. She's just not good in court. And so what I cannot figure out is why he wouldn't choose, rather than have Dr. Lewis do these over explanations that actually don't explain anything. I sort of understood what she was trying to get at, but I think the jury was left like, whatever, you know what I mean? I really had to squint hard to figure out what she was trying to get to. But I don't understand why he chose not to play any of the interview with her. And then you have conversely the state who did. But the parts that they chose to play were, by and large, the ones that were most ridiculous and outlandish and the most obvious examples of somebody feigning or malingering. So it does make you wonder what those tapes actually contain. I want to know.
So this is an 18-page transaction report.
Holy
and
crap.
It's just the details of, how she spent money. Not details. The other report has the details, but this is just the money.
I'm curious about this because, she was always telling people they kept forever putting money on her books.
Yeah.
And yet she wasn't allowed to get commissary. But yet,
Well, this
here
shows
she
you
is
every
getting.
time that she did. Yeah.
Here she is getting commissary. What? Wait a minute. Slow down. Where are you up to? Because you got to make this bigger for me. Let me make my screen bigger. Oh, you're all the way in 2021. I'm curious about back in 2020, like in October of 2020. What? Oh, it just shows you that she ordered. I see. Not what she actually. It's not an itemized list.
Right.
But
So this is October. There was no commissary in October. But November 6th there was, and September 17th there was. But there was no commissary in October.
which is interesting because I wonder if she was I wonder why she wasn't getting commissary. She had the money. Maybe she was in trouble.
Although I wonder, I mean, what does order mean?
I don't know. I have no idea. How much is it?
Oh, there's a bunch of them.
Well, just give me an example.
1024, 15, 1155.
Huh. I don't know.
10, 692. 11, 527. 11. Yeah, I have no idea. It doesn't tell us. Wonder, let's see what the next report is.
Okay. Mrs. M writes, was it also possible T's legal team sabotaged her case in a very unexpected way? I'm sure they both despised her. Well, that would be wrong. And if they did, they could be in trouble. Honestly, what I think is that I think they did the best they could with the case they were given. I have a feeling that Tolini probably in a slicker way asked Letecia or floated the idea about a plea deal and realized that was no dice. And I think that when he got the discovery and he got the jail files and all of that, I think that he decided that this was what they could, this is the best of a bad situation. And he tried to make it work. Unfortunately for Mr. Tolini, he has a client that does not meet the criteria. Listen, she's got mental health issues. That much is clear. But it's going to be very difficult to diagnose her due to the fact that she's malingering, she's feigning. So it would take a devoted psychologist to sit with Letecia, meet with Letecia, and evaluate with Letecia over an extended period of time. And unfortunately, those are not conditions that are, that you can have when you're preparing for trial. And so to really break it down and get down to the root of it, to what Letecia is at, what her situation really is with her mental health. What exactly she's got, what exactly she doesn't have. Because, when you administer tests like Amber Heard, and Amber Heard's just checking off every single box. Well, no, that's ridiculous. I don't even know why she thought that would work. But anyway, that's what we're dealing with, is that type of scenario. So it'd be very difficult under the conditions that are required to prepare for a case or to prepare for a trial to ascertain all of that. And I think what he did was, I think he made the best out of the best out of the situation. And I think that he tried, and that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was, Jesse, suspended or punished as suspending commissary, but that was later, not in 2020, right? Jen?
Say that again.
Jesse said, didn't you read that she was punished with suspension of commissary?
Yeah, several times, but I can't remember when. I mean, I can't remember the dates.
Yeah, and I feel like that was not 2020 because
Well, and it wasn't specifically like a commissary gets taken away, but for disciplinary reasons, her housing situation changed, and so she was like moved into medical and moved out of medical, and the rules are different on the different, you know, in the different locations.
Yeah.
So we looked up nightmares.
Aaliyah says, I don't think the jury would have ever found her insane simply because the crime itself was too horrific. I would never be able to sleep at night if I had voted insane. Well, the legal standard for an insanity defense, for somebody to be truly found not guilty by reason of insanity, is the bar is set so high for that, that it's very rarely ever successful. The only time it's really successful is in situations like Andrea Yates, and even for Andrea Yates, initially, she wasn't allowed to use the not guilty by reason of insanity defense in Texas. But then on appeal, she was allowed to, and it was overturned, and she was found not guilty by reason of insanity. And I've talked about this a lot of times. She is eligible for parole every so often, or eligible for review every so often, and she never attempts at it. She never makes an attempt to get out of where she is. She wants to be where she is, but she's also somebody who, once the psychosis was managed and she was leveled out on medication, was so remorseful over what she had done. Okay, Allie has typed in alt caps, so she's not playing with us, Jen. She wants us to look up, brace yourself, Chomo and flexible.
4 times. When I spoke to inmate blank, she said she is part of a gang called the Chomo Killer Gang, which represents women and kids. Chomo is slang for child killers. That's not true.
I thought it was slang for child mo.
Yeah, it is. It's a portmanteau. Because of inmate Stauch's case, she felt obligated that she would have to do something. I asked inmate blank what changed, because they have been in the same unlock group for at least a few days that I was aware. Inmate blank said she did not recognize inmate Stauch in the beginning. According to inmate blank, inmate Stauch told her false information about her, inmate Stauch, regarding car theft and vehicle crimes. When inmate blank realized who inmate Stauch was, inmate blank was furious. I asked inmate blank if there would be any issues being in the same ward. Inmate blank said as long as there is a seg between them, they will never be out at the same time. So it would be impossible for inmate blank to act on anything.
Isn't that interesting?
Right. And then Letecia takes it on later as if it's part of her identity. I mean, you know, she was
right, but what they do how they keep these people separate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's interesting. I figured, I mean, different jails do it differently. You know, some jails keep all of them together.
Yeah. Well, they are, I mean, they're all in the same ward. There's 2 tiers on the ward, a bottom and a top. And they just let people out at different times.
Right.
But the people who are in can, you know, they can see everything that's going on by looking out their cell door. You know, they can see everything that's going on during the other people's time out. They just can't get to them.
Interesting.
Let's see. So that was 1 of 4, 2 of 4. Okay, and then the kite that we looked at, report the male in Douglas County ran over because this is Operation Get Rid of Predators, Chomos, Harassers. He has been there for a long time. He was ran over and left. No dream. Goodbye to that man. Okay.
And that's her kite.
Yeah.
And what is that? What's the response? Okay.
Kite received.
Kite received.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nikki, for joining membership. I can't see what level it is. Hold on, let me look. Welcome to the Cuckoos.
Well, Jen, I love and appreciate you very much.
Me too, but I'm tired.
So
Are you tired?
I'm so
I'm
tired.
too.
I mean, it's good. I mean, I earned every bit of tired that I am. It's been a really productive day, but I'm beat.
I know, me too.
And
Me too.
yeah, I feel, I want to give it everything I have. It's just everything I have is not much right now and needs to be recharged.
It's fine, babe. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just glad we got to do this. We needed to do a part 2, and I'm glad you got to come up. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you do with all of this stuff.
And
And
it really changes it when you look at it with all the layers piled on top of each other.
Yeah.
The kites and the incident reports and the court hearings and the phone calls and the letters and then you just see everything as it's happening,
Yes. Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you, J. Michael McCoy, for the super sticker. Thank you, Kathy Schwartz, for the super sticker. I appreciate that. So generous, both of you. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Yeah, I'm tired too. This has just been a long week for your girl. Like Jen and Allie know Nestor's not doing well, you guys, and it's time to make some tough decisions. And then on top of that, now I'm truly an empty nester. And I wasn't ready for how sad it was going to make me. I think with little Minnie Bendy, I was sad. But I think that like the one thing I had was like, well, at least one of my birdies is still here. Right. And it doesn't take away that I miss her, but I wasn't a completely empty nester. And now I am. And then Nestor is the last of the Texas crew. And, he raised little Minnie Bendy. And he came to the family like when my older 3 were preteen and teenagers. So, and he stuck it out with them because as you guys know, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, those are tough ages. And he stuck it out with all of them. And, it's hard because Nestor is my dog's name. So, Christina, but yeah, he's a lab. He's a chocolate lab. But so it's been a tough week for your girl. And I knew I wasn't going to be able to give you guys, well, I would be too distracted. And I didn't want to do that to you. I didn't want to come on if I couldn't give you my 100%. But anyway, so that's what's going on at Casa Bendy. But thank you, Jen, for coming up. And I know you've been working really, really hard and, and you're tired too.
Yeah, I'm just tired. Hopefully everybody understands.
All right. Well, thank you guys all for being here. Thanks for supporting the stream and your thumbs up and being cool in chat. And welcome to the new members. Thank you for the super chats. I appreciate that. You guys are really generous and really good to me. And I can't thank you enough. And maybe I'll come live tomorrow night and we'll talk a little Adelson. I was supposed to do that last week, so maybe that's what I should do. Maybe let me make fun of Charlie Adelson a little bit, and I'll feel better.
Catch up on that one.
Yeah, that one's crazy too. All right, bye, you guys. Have a great night. Bye.
Bye.